Doctors often warn about aging, but here's what they don't always say. Your legs aren't getting weaker because of time. They're getting weaker because your body is missing critical nutrients. Deficiencies that silently eat away at muscle strength, bone density, and balance. Until one day, a simple stumble turns into a life-changing injury. Now imagine if you could stop that decline. Imagine walking with steady legs, climbing stairs without fear, and sleeping through the night without painful cramps. That's not wishful thinking, it's proven science. And in today's video, we reveal the 4 most overlooked but powerful vitamins and minerals that rebuild strength, protect your bones, and keep your legs unstoppable. Before we dive in, let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the vital health tips that could change your future. Let's start with the nutrient that holds the key to muscle power and balance, vitamin B12. If magnesium is the mineral that calms your muscles, then vitamin B12 is the spark that keeps them connected to your brain. Without it, the messages your nerves try to send down to your legs become faint, broken, or even lost. And when that happens, your legs don't just feel weak. They feel foreign, heavy, like they're no longer listening to you. Think of the last time you stood up and felt your legs wobble under you. Maybe there was a tingling in your feet, or a strange numbness that made you hesitate before taking that first step. Many seniors dismiss this as just aging. But here's the truth. It's often the silent voice of B12 deficiency. And it's shockingly common. As we grow older, our stomachs produce less acid, which means we can't extract B12 efficiently from food anymore. Add to that the widespread use of acid reflux medications, and the fact that many seniors reduce meat and dairy in their diets, and suddenly, levels plummet without warning. The result? Legs that feel heavy, clumsy, or out of control. For some, it begins as fatigue or mild weakness. For others, it turns into nerve damage so severe that balance and coordination are stolen away. But here's the good news. Restoring B12 can bring profound changes. In a 1-year clinical trial, older adults who took daily methylcobalamin, a highly active form of B12, saw real improvements. Their nerve function stabilized, pain eased, and even their ability to sweat, a subtle marker of healthy nerves, returned to normal. Imagine what that means in real life. A man in his 70s who once feared walking across the kitchen without holding on to the counter could now move with more confidence. A woman who described her legs as cement blocks noticed that after months of steady supplementation, her steps felt lighter, more controlled. Now I want you to notice something here. The benefits didn't come from a single shot or a miracle pill. They came from consistency, from daily replenishment. Just like vitamin D works best when you give your body a steady supply, B12 thrives on routine. And because it's water-soluble, your body flushes out the excess, making it one of the safest vitamins to take regularly. But here's the catch. Not everyone absorbs B12 well through food. Clams, fish, liver, eggs, dairy, these are all excellent sources, but if your digestion isn't up to the task, you may still fall short. That's where fortified foods, high-dose supplements, or even injections come in. And that's why checking your B12 levels with a simple blood test is so powerful. It's not guesswork. It's knowledge that could save your independence. I want you to picture this. It's nighttime, and you're walking to the bathroom. Without enough B12, your nerves fire too slowly, your foot drags, your balance falters. One small misstep and you're on the floor. But with healthy levels, your nerves snap like lightning, your muscles respond instantly, and you steady yourself before disaster strikes. That's the invisible protection vitamin B12 provides. Now here's the part that may surprise you. Some studies have shown that if your B12 is only slightly low, without obvious symptoms, supplementation may not feel dramatic. That's because the biggest transformations happen when deficiency is real, when your body is crying out for it. And too often, those cries are misheard as just getting old. So let me ask you, when you feel your legs heavy, numb, or unreliable, Is it really age? Or is it your nerves begging for the spark they've been missing? Because here's what makes this journey even more fascinating. Strong muscles and sharp nerves are only part of the story. Bones form the foundation, and if that foundation crumbles, independence disappears in an instant. A simple fall can lead to a fracture that changes life forever. And there is one final vitamin duo that holds the key to keeping your bones resilient while protecting your circulation at the same time. Let's turn to calcium, and the little-known nutrient that guides it safely where it belongs. Vitamin K2. If vitamin D is the sunlight and B12 the spark, then calcium is the very framework of your legs, the steel beams holding everything upright. Without it, bones lose density, become fragile, and a simple stumble can turn into a devastating fracture. But here's a truth few seniors are ever told. Calcium alone is not enough. In fact, if calcium doesn't go where it's supposed to, it can do more harm than good. And that's where vitamin K2 quietly steps in, the traffic officer that directs calcium into your bones instead of leaving it to clog your arteries. Let's talk about the danger first. Hip fractures are one of the leading causes of loss of independence in seniors. A minor fall that might have left you with just a bruise in your 40s can, in your 70s, mean months in a hospital bed, or worse, never walking independently again. And yet, while everyone talks about getting enough calcium, the missing piece of the puzzle is how to make sure it ends up strengthening bones instead of hardening arteries. Picture this. Calcium is like a shipment of bricks delivered to a construction site. If there's no builder to put them in place, those bricks pile up in the wrong spots, blocking pathways, creating hazards. Vitamin K2 is that builder. It activates proteins that literally bind calcium into the bone matrix, making them stronger, denser, more resistant to breaks. Without K2, the bricks scatter. With K2, they become a fortress. And the science backs this up. In a large meta-analysis, vitamin K2 was shown to not only maintain bone density in the spine, but also reduce the risk of fractures, especially in women after menopause. Another long-term study even suggested that high-dose K2 could cut fracture risk nearly in half. Imagine what that means. Half as many broken hips, half as many seniors losing their independence overnight. But it's not only about bones. Think about circulation. How many of us worry about clogged arteries, stiff joints, or calcification showing up in scans? That's misplaced calcium, mineral that should have been strengthening your legs, but instead hardened your vessels. By guiding calcium into the right places, vitamin K2 protects both mobility and cardiovascular health at the same time. It's a double victory that very few nutrients can claim. Now let's talk about where to find it. Calcium is familiar. Dairy products, fortified plant milks, leafy greens, almonds, sardines. But K2 is trickier. It hides in fermented foods like natto, a traditional Japanese soybean dish, in aged cheeses, and in certain animal products like egg yolks and liver. For many Western diets, K2 intake is often low. That's why supplementation is gaining so much attention, especially in seniors at high risk of osteoporosis. But here's the part that requires wisdom. More isn't always better. High calcium intake without enough vitamin D and K2 can lead to kidney stones or hardened arteries. The sweet spot, according to experts, is around 1-200 milligrams of calcium per day for adults over 70, paired with steady vitamin D and a supportive dose of K2. It's about balance, partnership, synergy. So, let me ask you to imagine. You're walking in the park, the ground a little uneven beneath your feet. With fragile bones, that uneven step could spell disaster. But with bones fortified by calcium and guided by K2, your legs respond with resilience. A stumble turns into nothing more than a momentary wobble. You smile, steady, and keep walking. That's the quiet, profound gift of this nutrient duo. Now we've come full circle. We've talked about vitamin D, the sunlight for your muscles, magnesium, the calm regulator of cramps, B12, the spark for your nerves. And finally, calcium with K2, the guardians of your bones and circulation. Together, they form a powerful shield, one that can keep your legs strong, steady, and pain-free deep into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. But before we close, there's one more thing to uncover. How do you put all of this together into daily life? How do you take these vitamins from abstract names on a bottle to real habits that protect your nights, your mornings, your independence? Stay with me, because in the conclusion, I'll show you how to weave them into your routine and leave you with a message that could change the way you move through the world. So here we are. We began with that painful image of being jolted awake in the dark, your leg locked in a cramp so fierce you thought you might never walk again. And now you know the truth. It doesn't have to be that way. 4 simple vitamins, vitamin D, magnesium, B12, and the duo of calcium with K2 work together like a team, each filling a gap that aging leaves behind. One fuels your muscles, one calms the cramps, one restores the spark to your nerves, and one builds a foundation of bone so strong it can carry you safely forward. But this is not just about nutrition. It's about independence. It's about waking up and trusting your legs to carry you across the room without fear. It's about being able to stroll in the park, dance a little at your grandchild's wedding, or simply rise from a chair without hesitation. These moments of freedom are precious, and they are worth fighting for. And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. The biggest danger isn't the cramp itself. It's believing that nothing can be done. Too many seniors accept pain and weakness as their destiny, when in reality, the body is asking for what it needs. You now have the knowledge, the tools, and the hope. So let me ask you, what will your next step be? Will you let another night of pain steal your rest? Or will you begin giving your body the nutrients that can change everything? If this video has sparked something in you, leave a comment and tell me your age and where you're watching from. Share your story, because someone else needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe, so together we can keep building stronger, healthier years ahead.